Let go of the shame, remove all the pain, block it out like a troll on your timeline. The past is what made you who you are today. Embrace it, let it go like an exhale. Remove it, remove it, remove it. The muzzle is off.
What's up, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to the Muzzle is Off podcast. I am your host, Nikatta Watkins. I hope y'all feeling all right on this good Wednesday night, the day before Thanksgiving. We have a special guest with us today, and we have Nikatta. Hey, girl. Can you hear us, Nikatta? Uh-oh. Hold up. You can't hear me? Now, how in the world did that happen when we was just hearing each other perfectly fine right before we went live? Hold up, y'all. Let us see. She will be right back with us. She could not hear us. What's going on, Parish? How you feeling? All right, so as y'all can see, today is Get It Off Your Chest Wednesday, right? Started this last week, and I really thought that it's a great idea to have something where you can be able to get some stuff up off your chest, right? And I wanted to keep that open, to get it off your chest aspect of it. Hey, Nikatta, can you hear me now?
It's really choppy.
Interesting. Y'all that's listening in the comments, let me know how y'all can hear. Can you hear clearly, or is it choppy to y'all as well?
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave out and then come right back. Let me try it again.
Okay. I don't know who just said hey, boo, but hey. And Parish, I'm happy that you're good. But what I want y'all to do in the comment section is I want you, if you got something, okay, thank you. Okay, y'all, you can hear us clearly. Okay, good. If you had something, all right, cool. Thank y'all. If you got something that you want to get off your chest, I want you to put it in the comment section, whatever it is that you would want to get off your chest, because we're going to talk about it. I got a couple of things that I really wanted to get off my chest on this good Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, because before I say thanks, there's some things I need to say, okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying some stuff before you say thank you, okay? And one of the things that I truly wanted to say is concerning parents that choose not to be parents. I have a problem with you parents that choose not to be parents. I honestly can't stand y'all, to be honest with you. I would never use the word hate but I will say I don't like you. Okay. I believe that children are brought into this world innocently and they deserve to have two parents that love them, regardless of whether or not the parent gets along with the other parent. Y'all should learn how to communicate. Y'all should learn whatever it is that y'all need to learn how to do in order to build a support system around your child or children, whatever that is. You should be able to do that for the sake of your child and also for the sake of the child's mental health. Okay, I feel that's important. And I have a problem with parent. And the reason why I'm not placing a father or a mother, I'm saying parents, because it's both sexes that can do this. We always want to talk about deadbeat fathers, but we don't necessarily want to talk about deadbeat mothers. But I got a problem with all y'all. Okay, all y'all. Before this good Thanksgiving, I'm gonna let you know I have a problem with you. Okay, because at the end of the day, them children did not ask to be here, or that child did not ask to be here. You decided to have unprotected sex, carry a baby for 9 months, and then father and or mother, you decide that you wanted to check out on said child. I have a problem with you, and I'm just gonna let that be known. I have a problem because it is very detrimental to the health and the stability of that child. And you actually end up causing them to have long-term effects.
Yes.
By you being a whack parent. Nikatta, if you got something to add to that, go ahead. Because
okay, so I came in on the kind of like in the middle towards the end of what you were saying, but the topic seems to be, is it about parenting around the holidays and
just the whack ones that don't want to be involved with the children?
Oh, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Let me tell you something. The reason why it irritates me is because, you know, I'm a single parent, right? I'm a single parent, and I'm talking from both sides. Like you said, I'm not just going to put the deadbeat title on the father, because there are deadbeat mothers out there. And although deadbeat fathers irritate me, I really want to understand the mindset behind a deadbeat mother. Because first of all, I'm going to say it like this. The moment you find out you're pregnant, you bond with that baby, right? You bond with that child. Like while that child is still in the womb, like you literally bond with that child. So it's just like, and I've seen it. I've seen mothers, selfish deadbeat mothers, choose their own pleasure over their kids. And I hate it. I have a special hate for it. I do. Because I'm a single mother, and a lot of people look at my life and they you know, and they think I took the hard road. And I did in a lot of ways. I did, right? Because I was not willing to give my daughter to someone to sign over my rights as a parent to someone to finish college. I tried my best. I took my baby to school with me, Alabama State University. I took my baby to school with me until my professor said, you cannot, it's against the policy. You know, I know what it's like. And it is just like, you constantly as mothers, you as a single mother, especially, I feel so, my heart really goes out to single mothers, but the ones who are doing the right thing, not you deadbeats. Okay?
And let me piggyback off of something that you said, because you are right. As a mother, you bond with that child from the womb. Mm-hmm. But for some odd reason, there are some women that do not bond from the womb, even though that child is reliant on them for their well-being, right? Because we know all the nutrients flow through that umbilical cord, all the feelings, all the emotions, all of that stuff the child is going to feel. Mm-hmm. And for some odd reason, there are some women that do not bond at all. And then you
I think it's PTSD. I ain't gonna lie.
It probably is some form of PTSD, some form of traumatic experience, some form of trauma, some form of lack of self-worth and value, some form of something happened. But just like Darren just said on the post, he said, "You right about that, but what about bitter baby moms?" And let me say this about bitter baby moms.
God.
Let me say this
Who
about
said that, Darren?
Let me say this about the BBMs, okay? Bitter baby moms, BBMs. Some of y'all cause them to be bitter.
And some of y'all lied about them being bitter because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as the father, the peppy.
Hello, pappies. However, let me say this. For the ones whom you did not cause to be bitter and they just bitter because they're not with you, those are, I don't like them neither, okay? I don't like them. But let me say this. Listen here. There's levels to this bitterness, okay? There's levels to the bitterness when it comes down to a baby mother. And sometimes that bitterness is due to
lies.
It's a cause and effect. Now, if you done had this woman pregnant with your child and then you over here cheating and carrying on and she turned bitter, she gonna be bitter until she heals, right? But what I find is that we don't want to help them to heal. We further add insult to injury and we re-injure them. We ain't talking about them because there's a reason for their bitterness. But some of them ones that just let me get my point. Let me get my camera right here. Boom, point. Some of them ones that are just bitter because you're just not with the man. He didn't do anything. He just chose someone or someone else. You dead wrong for withholding the children from the father because he did not choose you. That right there is terrible. It plays into the child's mental health. It causes them to not even understand their own self-worth and their own value because they themselves then question who they are. Why didn't daddy want me? When the truth is, it's not that he didn't want them. Okay. He didn't want the mama. And here come out because he ain't want nothing to do with you. He didn't want you. He couldn't love me, therefore he couldn't love you. No, the devil is a lie. He couldn't love you because he just couldn't love you, but he loved his child.
I know a baby mama. I know a baby mama that was so bitter that when her baby daddy got married, she withheld the child from him and the wife. And when they got married, guess what she did? Guess what they did?
What they do? She
withheld the child. She refused to allow her child to go around the father and the new wife, although the new wife was really, really wanting to be a part of this child's life. It was dramatic for the first 1 to 2 years. I can't see he couldn't see his child. And guess what?
What?
On year 3 of their marriage, guess what she did?
What'd she do?
Got pregnant by him.
Got to sip on that.
He's a deadbeat daddy. As long as he's not with you. But guess what? He's not a deadbeat daddy, and you got baby number 2 by him while he was married. Real talk.
That was slow motion. Y'all just couldn't understand the slow motion and all of that. And you know why she did that, right? To show that wife, he still want me.
I'm the wife. The ex-wife.
No, she's still it. Hello.
So we're not gonna even get on these old bitter baddies because they do exist.
But listen,
Darren,
but she was bitter with a cause. She said, "Oh, I'm going to show you who he is,"
and showed.
Darren, tell your wife to come on and join us. Okay, tell wife I said she is welcome. Okay, come on, Parish.
I don't see it in the chat. Okay, I want to see the comments.
Go ahead, click on the comments on the.
I see it.
Parish, tell your wife she could join. Tell her to inbox me. She could join in on this.
Yes.
But
That is whack. Whoever said that, I can't see it, but yeah, that's whack.
All of it is whack. It's whack. It is what. First of all, as a parent, you should want to be there for your child or children. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell her to inbox me. So, or I'll send you the link. And you can send it to her, whichever way. She can inbox me. It is wrong. It is wrong. As a parent, it is just wrong. Let me tell you this. I am a woman that had a miscarriage. I refuse. Let me say, I cannot fathom not raising and being there for my child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I'm honest. I don't lie. I did say that had I had the baby not died in the womb, now that father, I would have kept him from the baby. I would have.
Hey, when it comes to a
I shall not lie.
narcissistic parent, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was going to happen. Let me say this, because that wife he with right now wouldn't have been around my child. I'm not going to lie. Not at all. Not a day on this earth.
But people call that, but people would call that what you're saying. They'll call it bitter.
And I wouldn't be bitter. It would be protection for my child.
Exactly.
It would be
supposed
protection.
to protect our children.
It would be protection for the simple fact that she would have hated my child, and the fact that I had one with him, while in her mind he was always hers. I would wish a MF would hurt my child while my child was in your.
Oh, you got to.
Let me say this, and let me say because let me say this. He and I actually had that conversation while I was still pregnant. I told him, I said, you could lie all you want. I'm not with her. I said, you could lie all you want. In them good 2 weeks that I was still pregnant before I miscarried, and me and him went through that whole transition, I said, you could lie all you want. Okay, Parish. I said, you can lie all you want. I said, but my child will not be around that woman. I'm telling you that right now, or you will never see this child. I told him. And I think that's why the good Lord was like, you know what, let me save her, because she going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Messing around with this dude.
You would have been like me, busting windows out of the car.
No, honey. I would have drove down to that good North Carolina. Do you hear me? They wouldn't
have. The reason why I wasn't in jail, honey, it was because of grace.
They would have found, girl, the Lord knew what he was doing, because I'd have been down there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Acting a whole good fool, okay? And not on purpose, but I wish you would bring my. And see,
but you know what though?
Let me say, it would be different if it's a woman whom can love a child as if that child is her own. That is totally different. I am that person. I have dated men with children, and I have truly loved their children as if their children were my own. I am that person that will ask about your child. Your child ain't never met me. How your child doing? How's this, that, and the third? What's going on with how everything? She is me. I am her. That's why that shirt my friend made me, it said, he who finds Nakia finds a good thing. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Yes. She said, get your one, but people ain't up on that. But anyway, that is who I am.
Yeah.
If it was a woman like that, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, okay, go come on here. But that,
But see, I'm going to tell you, I'll say this. As a mother who, like, I've gone through the baby daddy, baby mama drama for like my daughter is 17. So I've gone through it. Right. So for me, I would take a different stance on that. Now I understand what you're saying and everything, but I've been in that situation where the women would actually pick. These were women that he cheated with. These are women that would get on social media, drag me and all that good stuff. But one thing I know about those side chicks, those women, one thing I know about them, girl, they would do anything to impress that man. They would not do anything to hurt your child. Now, I know that for a fact. Let me tell you how I know that. Now,
I know you know that for them ones he was with, but that one.
But this one, I'm telling you the same, like the baby mama, I've dealt with a crazy side chick before, like stupid. And I've allowed my children to go around her because at the end of the day, I already know him. And if they do anything, he's going to kill them. Off top. Like there will not be a survivor.
See, he ain't like that. So,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you doing
and
the
I
right
ain't
thing.
go, because he wasn't like that.
But I've seen them like, I'm just like, they would call, Nikatta, can I get the kid? Girl, yes.
Come get him.
Yes. At the time, I was still drinking and, turning up and smoking and doing.
Come on.
By all means, yes, sis need a break. I need a break.
Sis said she needed a break. Come on here and come get him. No, that one, it wouldn't have happened. Not that way.
Yeah, some women are stupid, and then when it comes to how women do things to hurt kids,
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I when you witness certain things and then you hear certain things and you understand certain things, because he already had a daughter whom she was at that time she was very jealous of, right? I was carrying a child. My job as a mother was to say, I'm going to protect this child at all costs. So that wasn't going down. I'd have been in jail.
Yeah. See, now, is she stupid? That's something totally different.
That's my point. Now, I think they might have improved upon their good relationship now, I believe, all these good years later. But at that time, I wasn't taking no chances with all of that. I was like, nope. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, you will not have this baby around that girl, because I'm going to go to jail if she do something to my baby.
Wow.
So I'm going to hurt you and her at the same time. No,
and I promise you would not just be all talk. You would really hurt somebody about
No, for real, because that's your child. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I don't understand, because at the end of the day, when it's your child, that's your job as a parent to protect your child and to be there for your child and to cover your child and to make sure that no hurt, harm, or danger comes upon your child. So if that is my job and I see it, it's my job to call it out, and it is my job to address it as the parent.
Right.
What you was not about to do is that. Period. Parish, tell Talia the link was sent to her. But yeah, no, we're not having all of that. I don't have that time.
I don't blame you about that.
And I have no respect. I have no respect for it. I have no time for it. I mean, we see it all the time on the news, right? There literally there was just a news story out. I forgot where it was at, where the boyfriend, the mother was in the hospital giving birth to their new baby, and the boyfriend beat the son. It wasn't his son, but beat the son to death, and the son was disabled. He was blind, and he
my God.
And he also couldn't walk on his own. So the cops literally are raising money to bury this little boy. That man is in jail, praise God. But no, why would you willingly have someone around your child like that?
Yeah, see, I dated someone who lost his daughter the same way. The boyfriend got mad because the baby wanted some cookies or something like that, and he turned the hot water heater up as high as it could go and put her in a tub of hot water, and she died. She fought for her life for quite some time, but she died. She was going on 3.
See, that's what I'm saying. That level of sickness, like, you're sick. You're twisted and you're demented if you even think that is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get with that.
So I get it on both sides. I guess it's just like a case by case situation.
Yeah, it's people by people. Some folk are crazy. Others are not. So it's their level of crazy and what they think that they can get away with versus what they know they can't. You understand what I'm saying? Because some folk don't want to go to jail. They just, some people like to they mentally and emotionally harm the children, right? It might not be physical, right? But it might be mental and emotional to try and compete with the child and make the child feel like the child should be less than them because they should always be first and this, that, and the third, right? And that amount, I just feel it's sick. You don't compete.
See, for me as a single parent, I've dealt with a boyfriend molesting me. And because of that, I absolutely refuse to have anybody around my children. My children are 17 and 9. And I just absolutely refuse it because this person literally was threatening me. I was like 5 or 6. And he would literally sit around me and my cousins, right? And he would listen to our conversations. And he would say, the way that he lured me in was, he said, if you tell your mama, I'm gonna tell your mama that you and your cousins were talking about the fact that y'all like little boys. So I had to sit there and let him do whatever he told me to do to him. So when I say that single mama hatred, negligent single mama hatred, it feels like a hatred to me because of what I've experienced.
You be like, you know what? That's just
that follows you for the rest of your life.
But you know what? That's how my mother was, because a lot of the things that she experienced growing up, she was very protective over my sister and I, to the point where there was nothing we could do outside of her permission and her knowledge. Like nothing. There was no, if she really didn't know the parent, there was no spending the night at the parent's house. If they had brothers, uncles, whoever that lived in the house, if they had a daddy, she was very skeptical of letting us spend the night. Especially if they had a father. She did not play those games. Lori was very top notch when it came to that, because of, experiences. Even when it came down to our friends, who were we friends with? Who were we around? If she didn't like them, there was no way you were telling her, oh, I'm going to so-and-so house. No, you are not.
No, absolutely not. It's a no, shut it down.
No, you would not be there. I never forget my friend's aunt, because my friend, her mother had her at a young age. So the aunt was not that much older than us, but she was older than us,
Mm-hmm.
And she was taking us to the mall. My mother was like, how old is she? I was like, I don't know. Hold on. So I asked her, I was like, how old are you? My mother was like, I didn't want you to ask her. I'm like, well, how would I know how old she is if I don't ask her how old she is? Like, you just asked me a question. I don't know how old she is. I know that's her aunt. Mm-hmm. But that's how bearish my mother was, because she didn't play no games with that. She's gonna protect these girls at all costs. They will not experience what I experienced, and needless to say, because I was the good hard-headed one and just wanted to live my own good life. So some of those experiences was inevitable, but
yeah, I mean, you're gonna have your teenage experience, you're gonna have all of that. So I mean, that's life, but girl, it's something else.
It really is. You know what I'm saying? I think that it boils down to a level of maturity and stability, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you are immature and you're in situations like this, where you're dealing with someone else's child or even your own child, some folks say having a child will make you grow up. And for other people, it really does not make them grow up. It literally just keeps them in a stagnant place, because they're still trying to grow up and they haven't mastered that part yet. For other people, it does make them grow up, and it does assist them with their ability to mature and handle things at a different level. But no, don't nobody have time for all of that. And like I said, I don't have time for no form of a deadbeat, whether you're a mother or a father. I also have no time for BBMs, bitter baby mothers. I don't have time for them either. The real bitter ones. Not the fake bitter ones because the man did something and caused, not that. I'm talking about the real bitter ones.
The real, because there's some real ones out there.
Mm-hmm. The ones that
most times is when the father is a good dad too. That's when they're bitter. Never understood that. That.
Because he just wants to be a father to his children, and he does not want you, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like my whole thing is that the man does not necessarily have to have you in order to be a good father. He does not have that there's no requirement with that. But I think sometimes with women, I didn't want to be a single mother. Well, you should have probably chose somebody else to have a baby with. Like you knew prior to, you know what I'm saying, you having that child, that the relationship wasn't going right, but you still chose to have the child. So at the same time, you have to deal with that. And we have a lot of situations where they don't want to deal with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The reality of the relationship, what was really going on in this relationship prior to me having this child. And we don't want to deal with what was really going on. We just want to deal with the fantasy world that lives in our mind of, well, this child was going to bring us back together. No, children don't do that.
They don't.
And truth of the matter is, that's not the child's job. The
Right.
child's job is to be a baby and to grow in a
Carefree.
loving, nurturing environment. When you start looking at a child as a savior for a relationship, something's wrong with you. That child is not your captain saver relationship.
Yep. Girl, speaking of deadbeats and Thanksgiving.
Come on.
Girl, my ex has not called my children in over a month or so. Guess what he called them today and asked them? Your mama cooking Thanksgiving dinner, what she cooking? My daughter didn't want to answer. I was just like, what?
I'd have been like, food for our consumption.
Look,
the consumption that you didn't seem to care about for an entire 30 days.
Lord Jesus.
You better get them hoes to cook for you. How about that?
Thank you. Eat those Hot Pockets.
All
and those
of
chicken tenders.
All of them.
Yes. Somebody said, I think all too often some children are born a product of a failed or struggling relationship before they are conceived. Most of the time when we have children by someone we did not see ourselves spending the rest of our lives with. That can be for whatever reason, cheating, no interest, etc. Side chick, side dude, one night stand.
A 2 month split. Oh, okay.
Now
here comes it. That's right.
Is that so?
2 month fling.
No, I'm saying I don't know if I agree with her comment. Let me see. She said, I think children. Let's see.
He basically just said what I said, that some children are born a product of a failed relationship. You knew that relationship was struggling before you even conceived the child, but you conceived the child and now they're here. Oh,
I don't know why I kind of interpreted that as saying, you had the baby. How am I saying it? You had the baby knowing that the relationship was going. I don't know how I interpreted it. Whatever, we can go on. I don't know. That was weird. Okay. But I'm sorry.
He said, I'm a guy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We know you a guy, Lonzy. We know.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, but that is true because some children are born a product of a failed relationship. Some children are born a product of a fling. Some children are born a product of a one night stand. Children are born. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But I believe that once they get here,
yep,
they deserve two parents.
Yeah.
Period.
So do you think that the child of a fling, like the parent of the child of a fling, if they desire, okay, so we have this baby now, and this baby was created from a fling, and they say, I feel like we should try to work this out. Do you think they have the right to be like a bitter baby mama?
Wow. It was a fling. What are you bitter about? You opened your box up to someone whom you didn't even know it was a fling. I'm just saying it was a fling.
True.
Like, to me, so since I tells the truth and folk don't like truth, but it's all right. I live in it. When I was 18 years old, I had got pregnant. I didn't know dude like that. Like we had seen each other here and there, but I really didn't know him. And when I got pregnant, all I really knew was his first name. That was it. And I had his pager number. This is how far back I'm going. I'm about to be 40.
Oh, that's some 90s stuff. Okay.
Hello, pager. Okay. And that's all I had was his pager number. And you page 911, that 9 times out of 10 signified a call back. He wasn't calling back. His name was Irvin. I never forget it. His name was Irvin. He wasn't calling back. So
wow.
I literally had just turned 18.
Oh, wow.
I turned 18 that January. I was pregnant by that February. 18.
Wow.
And I was dead set. I'm keeping my baby. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. I was sleeping all the time. I was sick. My sister called my aunt and said, Key is pregnant. which then made them call me and say, what are you going to do? I was like, what? I'm keeping my baby. I don't care what y'all talking about. What? They were like, well, where you going to go? Because, you know, when your parents find out you're pregnant, they going to kick you out. I was like, that's fine. I'll figure it out.
That's some of 90 stuff for real.
Kia, what you going to do? I'm keeping my baby. They were like, Kia, you can't keep that baby.
Oh, man.
You need to go have an abortion. And that's what I did at 18 years old. In an abortion clinic at a doctor's office out in Syosset, Long Island. That's how much I remember this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah, 18 years old, having a boy. And I was in there with grown women. I'm telling you, I was in there with grown women. And it just so happened that the Ricky Lake show was on. This how much it was vivid. I remember it. The Ricky Lake show was on. And there was women on there. They were pregnant. And I never forget the lady sitting across from me. I promise you, she had to be 5-6 months pregnant. She was in there having an abortion. And I asked her, I said, why? And she said, me and my husband, we don't want no more kids. But you know, when you're 5-6 months, you have to give birth and then they have to kill the fetus. They have to kill the baby. In the abortion clinic.
Oh,
at the doctor's office. And I promise you, at that time, I fell into such a deep depression because I did not want to have an abortion. I didn't want to. And I was at the age of 18, I was very angry with myself because I was just like, I should have just kept, whatever happened, I just should have let it happen. Right. Like whatever, if Martin and Lori kicked me out, I just should have let them kick me out. And I just would have figured it out. Dude, little Mr. Irvin, he wasn't calling nobody back. That was fine too. I didn't even care. You know, but that was one of the things my aunt was like, you don't even know this man's name. I was like, well, I got his first name.
So how did you get past, like, were you angry with the aunt?
No, I never was angry with them. I was more angry with myself because at the age of 18, I was very much so self-aware and I was always able to make decisions. So they just ultimately told me, like, this is what you need to do. And they took me, like, all jokes aside, they took me, they came together, they paid for it and everything. Cause I was just working at a movie theater, you know what I'm saying? And couldn't afford no abortion, not like that, you know? So they all came together. I don't know if one of y'all tell Martin or Lori the story, I don't care at this point. Cause I don't think my parents even know back then that I had an abortion, but yeah. But I dealt with it. And then and it's crazy because after that, a year later, right after I had the abortion, a year later, I ran into Irvin at the Puerto Rican Day Festival. I was walking down 116th Street from Lexington, going down towards 3rd Avenue. Anybody that's ever been to the Puerto Rican Day Festival, you know, it's like this whole big thing, you know, out in the city, up in Spanish Harlem. So I gotta go to light. I'm sorry. That's fine, girl. So and I saw him and he asked me, he had the audacity to ask me, he was like, you know, back, you know, you were texting me 911. Why did you text me 911? I said, oh, you got them? Well, yeah. I said, and you didn't respond? He said, well, no. I was like, oh, okay. I said, oh, I was pregnant. So then he's going to say, well, where's the baby? I was like, do you see one here? And he was like, well, that's what I would have told you to do. I said, no, you wouldn't have told me to do nothing. You, sir, wouldn't have told me to do
He was
nothing.
that heartless?
Yeah. Listen. And mind you, we was on, and my sister and God bless Tisha. Tisha died like a while ago, back in like 2007. But God bless Tisha. When she looked, she was like, oh, this him? We need to. I was like, nah, we good. Don't worry about it. That's the type of stuff we was on. And he was like, oh, I would have told you to do that. No, you wouldn't have told me to do nothing, sir. Not a thing. Okay. But that's the thing that we don't seem to fully understand. That's the mental aspect of it. Getting pregnant off of a fling, getting pregnant by someone whom you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And you taking on that responsibility for yourself. Whichever way you decide to do is what you choose to do. If I would have chosen to keep, like, sometimes I regret having that abortion because after that, I just went through years of infertility just due to like fibroids and all the extra stuff or whatever. So sometimes I literally at that time I had regretted that entire abortion because I was just like I probably wouldn't have had them years of infertility had I not had an abortion or whatever. But sometimes you gotta get over and you gotta get through a lot of that stuff, and that's the point. That what I'm trying to say about, getting pregnant off of a fling or getting pregnant by someone whom you really don't know. Or some people get pregnant off of one night stands. It could be a one night stand and next thing you know, you end up pregnant. You just met the person. It happens. And what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? People get angry. People turn, whatever. But no, gotta deal with all that stuff. I'm trying to tell y'all. And you got to deal with it logically. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to deal with some of this stuff logically. You cannot deal with a lot of this stuff based on your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with it logically, not based on your emotions. So that's my point. Folks, get up out your emotions. Don't. Let me see. Look. Let me see what was the next thing I needed to get up off my chest, because there's some stuff. Y'all done irked me this whole week. I did that. Okay. I needed to get up off my chest one more thing. And I want to talk about shady Christians. That's what I want to talk about. Oh, wait, let me read some of these comments. Sorry, y'all. Let me go. You know what, Lonzo? You said you glad I ain't beep you with a... Listen. Dude should have ran to the payphone and called back, okay? Put that quarter in that payphone and call somebody back. He did that on purpose, so it's all right. And you are definitely right. You said only a woman can imagine that type of pain. Men can't relate. That's the truth. That one of the things that we talked about. I think it was last month. I guess it was last month during the whole Survivor podcast, and we talked about that. There are some things that some men they can't relate to, which is perfectly fine. Screen learning or for YouTube, you are absolutely right. They know now. If they didn't know, they're gonna know now. Which I'm damn near 40. I'm not necessarily hiding anything from them anyway. At this stage in the game, it is what it is. V, yeah, you're right. What that? Listen, girl, that was tough. And you said the hard part for some is learning to deal with certain situations logically. Exactly. You got to deal with things logically. I think at a young age, because I was always highly analytical, like I was always analytical. I always dealt with things logically. Like if it didn't make sense, I wasn't necessarily with it. And if you could convince me that it didn't make sense, then quite possibly I could get with it. But 9 times out of 10, it needed to make sense. I know you meant deal. Don't worry, V. I know what you meant. That's why I said deal. See what I'm saying? See how we got each other? Come on, sister friend. But yeah, so let me know how it sounds to you. But yeah, so like I said, the next thing I need to get off my chest, and I really want to get this off my chest because I be tired of it sometimes. Oh, wait a minute. Pause. Let me do this. Tonight's episode of the Muzzle is Off podcast is being sponsored by Addicted to Fitness. If you have not seen, a lot of my videos that I post on Facebook as of lately has been dealing with my road to 40 and my road to living a better, healthier life. And one of the ways in which I have committed myself to living a better, healthier life is by becoming addicted to fitness. So tonight's podcast is sponsored by Addicted to Fitness. Sorry, y'all. Me and these good trays, we're not working together tonight. But tonight's podcast is being sponsored by Addicted to Fitness. So check out some of the videos And as I always tell on my videos, I always say you need to get you a Jadoni because he surely will make sure that you are addicted to fitness. And that's why everything that we say, we say, yes, I am ATF, because we are addicted to fitness. And I have welcomed the journey with open arms, because there's nothing that says self-love and self-care than being able to take care of your body. And it's not just taking care of your mental, but it's also taking care of your physical self. So become addicted to fitness. Join us. Thank you. So one of the final things I definitely do want to get off my chest is I want to discuss, I really and truly want to discuss shady Christians. I want to discuss the shady church. And whether you like it or not, it is what it is. I personally, I can be very shady, right? We all know that. No, I'm not shady. I can be very petty. But one of the things that I honestly can say that I truly do despise, I despise people that cloak their shadiness as if it is a word from the Lord. Do not do that. You cannot shade me and then think for 1 second that you're going to quote some type of form of a scripture to cover up your mess. I do not like it. I do not stand for it. I will never stand for that. I will never be a part of that. That is something that is so far beyond my ability to, I'm not, okay? I'm not dealing with it, okay? And I do not appreciate it. We have so much going on right now in this good year of 2020. We have an entire second wave of coronavirus, and some of y'all Christians are deciding to be on your little shady tree, and you're doing this stuff in the guise of God. Stop it. The Lord ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sitting up here trying to warn people about this, that, and the third, acting like it's a prophetic warning. And it is not. It's prophetic garbage, because it came from the garbage of your soul that you're trying to release unto people. And I feel sorry for those who actually listen to words like that, because it's just not riddled in nothing. It's riddled in nothing but foolishness and anger and flesh. One of the things that I do believe that we need to begin to truly understand are the times in which we live in and what is actually going on during these times. What season are we in today? Okay. And the season is not for your shady BS, because that's what it is. It's nonsense. It's foolishness. And you need to stop, because that's not recapturing souls. That's not helping people come and become unto one in the body of Christ. That's not doing anything but showing people that there is yet and still mess that continues to go on. Okay. And we need to stop it. Hey girl, can you hear? It might still be choppy. It might be the
There it is.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wait. Let me see. Say something else.
Something else.
I can hear you, but it's choppy. Okay.
It just might be the location.
Yeah, this is.
You know how our internet goes. Y'all listen. What we need to do is blast these little internet companies that act like they give us all this good broadband and width, and it doesn't work throughout our whole houses, okay? Because that's ridiculous in and out of itself, where you got to buy signal boosters so that it can work on your upper level, your middle level, and your bottom level all at the same time. That's foolery. Screen Learner said there are too many shady Christians in churches, but it's good for people and places to show you who and what they are before you get deceived. They will twist the Bible to justify being a holy mess. And I agree with that. And the problem that I have with that is because there are so many that are actually being deceived by listening to these holy messes, because they don't understand that it is a holy mess, because that's exactly what it is, a holy mess. I don't have time for, I am, I tell people, and I just mean this, when you have been faced with so much adversity, when you've been faced with so much trauma, you've been faced with so much pain, you've been faced with so much hurt, and the one thing that you want to do is push yourself to live in your purpose, and you want to push yourself to strive for your destiny. The last thing that you had time for is shady Christians. I just want to be able to go to church, receive the word, be in fellowship, and I don't want to deal with the shade. Folks need to mature within their messaging. They need to mature within their stance. They need to mature within their own knowledge of self and understand that your little shadiness pushes people away. Your cold-heartedness pushes people away. Your complete lack of empathy, your lack of your disdain, your lack of trust, all that stuff pushes people away. And then you do that, and then you want to throw scripture around there, okay, to try and cover up the fact that you're just insecure, you're emotional, and you're hurt. Stop it. All of that is annoying, and I just don't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? We have dealt with too much loss in 2020 to still act like it's okay to be shady. It is not. Grow up. That is the message I have for all you little shady Christians. Grow up. Okay? Because we don't have time for it. Folks are dying. Okay? People are trying to figure out how they're going to live. You know what I'm saying? And it's too much now. We have a lot at stake here, and being your little shady self ain't something that's high on anybody's totem pole for you. Stop it. We throw fun shade over here, okay? But all this little biblical shade it's annoying. And you're using scriptures to be shady, and that's annoying. And then you're trying to act like what you're doing is of God. That's annoying. Stop annoying my good spirit. I don't like my spirit annoyed. How about that? Okay. And there's too many people watching, and there's too many people following for us to act like that. It's just too much now. We have a lot of eyes on the church due to the fact that we have a president, a person in an office that has truly highlighted a lot of the flaws of the church. Because the truth of the matter is, we keep looking at these evangelicals, and the evangelicals been the evangelicals, point blank period. They've been who they are. But what has happened in this good Black Pentecostal apostolic faith, what's happening there, that's totally different. And you got to be able to deal with that. And you got to deal with it in truth and stop with all this foolishness. All this, it's like one of the things that's required. We require people to be, and this is just in the Black Pentecostal church for some odd reason, Pentecostal, apostolic, whatever. We attempt to require people to be so loyal to us, man, that we forget that their loyalty is unto God. It has nothing to do with us, and we try and breed a culture where people feel that they must stick with whatever agenda is that we're putting out, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. And let me say this, I am not one who will stand with anything that is wrong. And I don't care who you are. Period. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And if it's right, it's right. There is no in between with that. There's no gray area with that. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I will stand 10 toes down against anybody that, and if I can literally show you where you're wrong, I will stand on that and not care. And I'm not going to waver. But I'm tired of the shadiness, all this stuff. It's so much conflict. It's so much turmoil. We don't need that right now. And we just don't. We don't need it right now. What we need is unity. We need love. We need people to come together. You know what I'm saying? We need patience. We need all of that. But all of this bickering, backbiting, oh, it is annoying to my soul. Like, it is just annoying, and I think I'm a little bit, I'm over it at this point. I'm just over it. And I don't know if any of y'all feel the same way. You can put it in the comment section or whatever the case may be. But I do believe that 9 times out of 10, it's like, I come to church. I want to feel when I'm in fellowship, whichever. Because right now we're not necessarily gathering together or anything like that. So, but the way how I feel, I just want to worship and be free with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel the tension. I don't want to feel a pull. I don't want to feel none of that. And sometimes it just gets a little too much with this shadiness. I'm not shady. I'm direct. So I am a direct person, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Nikatta, put it in the, I understand it's getting choppy for you. All right. Well, put it in the comment section, Nikatta, whatever it is that you want to get up off your chest. I think when you downstairs, it's better. But once you go upstairs, it gets choppy. You got to stay. You didn't need to stay downstairs. But put it in the comment section, and I'm going to talk on whatever it is that you say you needed to get off your chest. Y'all know what? Let me tell y'all this. What I don't do is I don't ask for donations, right? That's something that I really don't do. I don't do it because this is a vision that I literally had in order to start this podcast. And I'm literally making strides every time to do different things. And one of the things that I really do want to be able to do, because like in this situation where Nikatta can't necessarily, get the connection right to be on video, I want to be able to have people be able to call in, and then you could literally speak what it is that you would have to say. So hence the reason why we have sponsors now. So don't worry, y'all. I just want y'all to know that, there are definitely things that are coming down the pike as far as expanding our technological abilities, so that we will be able to have a person call in and make their comment or whatever the case may be. So I think that'll be great, and hence the reason why we have sponsors now. So what I want to say is, if anybody would like to sponsor the Muzzle is Off podcast, please reach out to me. You can definitely become a sponsor. Dr. Bart 516 off of Periscope, you asked me, what do you think about abortion? Should it be legal or illegal? I believe in a woman's right to choose. So I do not believe in abortion should be illegal. I believe that it should be legal, and I believe that women should have the right to choose. It's their body. Let them choose. Period. I believe in freedom of choice. Period. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't believe that there is a biblical standard on anything about someone's right to choose. God gave us a bunch of choices. We choose which way we are to go. So I believe in a woman's right to choose. I believe in free choice. That's what Nikia believes in. And again, and let me say this, and there might be a lot of people who don't agree with that, and that is perfectly fine, because I don't stand on anything for for anybody to necessarily agree with me. But I believe in a woman's right to choose. I do not believe that any government can tell a woman that she does not have the right to choose. That's what I believe. I believe in freedom of choice. And whatever comes from that choice, that's for the woman to decide. It's not for me or anybody else to decide. Period. That's how I stand with that. So anyway, that's pretty much all I really needed to get up off my chest today. Tired of you shady Christians. I'm tired of deadbeat parents. Oh, you know what? There's just one more thing I needed to get up off my chest, and then I'm going to go for this Wednesday night, because I got some food to prepare, not cook, but just get it prepped. Sick of y'all little shady folk in these relationships. Some of y'all act like when you're with a woman, you don't want her, so then y'all break up. And then when you realize that she done glowed up before your eyes, now all of a sudden you copping pleas for her attention. When what you probably should have did was nurtured her while you was with her. Stop that. That's annoying. And this goes for men and women, to be honest, because women, we do the same thing too. We'll engage and we'll embark upon relationships with people, and then we don't want them. And then when they start glowing up, next thing you know, we want to make that phone call. Stop doing all of that. That is annoying. That is highly annoying. And also, it can be viewed upon as to be very disrespectful and actually very devaluing, because when you had me, you could not value me enough in order to keep me. And now that you don't have me, you want to sit up here because you see me bettering myself. You see me going after my dreams. You see me fighting for my goals. You see me doing all these things that I'm doing. Now you want to come up on the scene. No, you should have been there. You should have been grinding with me while I was yet still grinding. Don't come when I'm on the up. You should have been there when I was still yet down and trying to build out this entire empire. Don't do that. And let me also say this for some women, because I feel that we need help. A lot of times when we're dating, we date multiple people at the same time because you're trying to weed out who you want, who you don't want, this, that, and the third. And oftentimes we'll find ourselves in a place where we will engage with different types of men that have a different level of attention, right? Some men are strictly texters. Other men love phone calls. Other men love in-person, conversation and stuff like that in order to build a bond, whichever it is. I saw a post today in this group I'm in, and the lady basically was saying how she was dating like these two men or whatever the case may be. And one of them was giving her all the attention, but she really wasn't feeling him, but she was feeling the one that was barely there. And let me say this, a comment that came about from that, it literally kind of floored me. And what the man said was, well, isn't this typical behavior? The one who treats you like a goddess you don't like, and you gravitate towards the one who treats you like crap. He said to her, I say you leave the good one alone, like most women do anyway, and stay with one who's obviously showing you how much he doesn't value you. You deserve to be treated like crap, and the other one is too good for you. That's what the comment said. And let me say this. Not that I necessarily agree with the comment, but I understand his frustration. And his frustration is because there are a lot of times where good men that are very caring, men that are very affectionate, men that are very concerning towards us, we don't want them. We want the ones that don't really want nothing to do with us, only want to give us bare minimum time at that, and only want to give time when they feel it's convenient for them, where the other one actually will make time to see you, and will make time to care about you, and will make time to check on you, and will make time, all of that stuff. It is very important that we as women, right, begin to recognize red flags. Recognize, and it's not just the red flags, recognize all the flags, the white flags, the blue flags, the yellow flag, the red flag, orange flag. Recognize all the flags that are before you when you're engaging upon relationships with people in general, men and women alike. Everybody needs to recognize these flags. You know what I'm saying? How does the person treat you? How do they talk to you? Are they attentive? What do they do? Do they want to do things with you? If you're going through a crisis moment, do they take the time to talk to you? Are they supportive? Are they your even motivator? What is it that they do? You know what I'm saying? Do they make plans to see you, or do they just spring things on you at the last minute and think that you're just supposed to move things around because this is where they at, right? You got to pay attention to all of that, because all of those things actually do mean something. And because they mean something, it's important for you to recognize what it means to you, your own personal self. What does this mean to me? And then you move and you govern yourselves accordingly. And I will tell you that, I mean, the woman basically responded back to that man and was like, I apologize for the woman that hurt you because you seem very bitter. And the truth of the matter is, while his comment might come off as bitter, he really wasn't necessarily being bitter. He was being truthful, because that's how that is viewed upon. You know what I'm saying? When you put up a post like that, and I think that that's another thing that's important. We need to be very mindful of the things in which we post and the things in which we say, especially if you're in a singles group and you're trying to get a man and you sitting over here talking about I think she had a situation where she said, it might have been in one of the comments where she said her father passed away And the one dude was very attentive, and the other dude just basically texted like, sorry for your loss. And that was it. So I just think that it's very important that we begin to recognize, number one, what is it that you need? What is it that you require? And what is it that you want? Those things don't always mean the same thing for everybody. So you got to know that for your own self and go after that. 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? And don't waver from that. Other than that, stop it. Oh, some of y'all cause your own heartache in relationships because you just don't know how to stop. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you already got a communication problem in your relationship, fix that. Some folks do not understand the importance of communication. You can learn a lot from a person by what you listen to. And stop always trying to listen in order to respond, because everything does not need a response. And we say one of the worst things I have figured out within myself, one of the worst things a man can do is ask me a question and I answer it, and then you automatically give a rebuttal to whatever it is that I just said. That is annoying. Because it's like you put a person constantly in a defense to defend what they actually said, as opposed to just hearing what they said. There's a difference. And people need to really and truly learn the art of communication. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know that I have a documentary that's coming out. It's coming out this Friday. Me and 10 other women, we participated in a healing documentary. And people will literally ask me questions about the documentary, like what made me join it, what made me write the book, what made me do this and third. And then when I'm answering you, then you have a rebuttal for what I'm saying. There's no rebutting that. Like, you just need to learn how to listen. You know what I'm saying? Well, do you think this? I don't think nothing. What I think is what I wrote in that good book, and what I think is what I experienced in that good documentary. That's what I think. That's what I know. Period, point blank, the end. Anything that came after that, I don't care about. And, I think sometimes we have to learn the art form of communication. And until we learn that, we're just going to be turning off a whole lot of people. Communication is art. And I think everybody should learn the art of communication. And that is my message for today, because I'm getting up out of here, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving and I got things to prepare. Not that I'm cooking a whole lot, but what I am cooking is going to take time, okay? And it needs my attention. And, you want your meat to marinate overnight and also the extra good stuff, because, you want the good flavor to get on up in the inside. You just don't want it on the outside, on the skin. So, you got to marinate stuff and let it set, and then boom, let it be ready. So that's what I'm about to do. So tune in next week to the Muzzle is Off podcast. For the month of December, we're just doing some things a little different around here. I'm just throwing some things out there. And we are going to be really talking about relationships. I have some dope women that are coming on a podcast with me. And we just going to break it down about relationships. And I think we're going to be raw. We're going to be uncut, but we're also going to be truthful. We're going to get down into purpose. We're going to get down into destiny. We're going to get down into all of that stuff, because I just feel that is important. At any point in time when you're building relationships, it needs to be taking you somewhere. I don't care where it is, but it better be towards destiny. Okay. And that, you know what? And that's another problem. I'll get that off my chest sometime next month, though. Relationships that ain't carrying you nowhere. Some of y'all need to dump a whole lot of people in your life, because you're just not going nowhere. And that is not all right. Everything that you do needs to be taking you somewhere, period. And a lot of you are stagnant because you're just in relationships with people going nowhere. No, that ain't how this works. We got to move forward. So again, I thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Tune in next week for the Muzzle Up podcast. I will have a great guest with me. Her name is Grace. I love her. I love her spirit. We laugh. We joke with each other. She's an awesome woman of God. She's an awesome nurse. She's an awesome coach. She's just awesome everything. So we will be here next week at 7 p.m. Then the following week, I will have 3 guests with me. It'll be Grace again. It will be another woman. Her name is Focus James. Love her spirit. And then it'll be another woman. Her name is Tiffany, but she goes by Sapphire Speaks. So we're just doing things a little different here. I love having a variety of people on because it gives you, the listener, a variety of opinions. You're not just stuck here in my opinion, because I ain't the end all, know all, be all. So tune in next week as we continue to go forward and just get real raw as it comes to these relationships and the topics that we're going to discuss. All right. So until then, it is Nikatta Monet, and I am the host of the Muzzle is Off podcast, and I will see y'all later. Good night, and have a happy, happy, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. See, I put it in the podcast. I'm not sending out no group text. Don't send me no group text either tomorrow, because I'm going to block some of y'all if I get a group text talking about happy Thanksgiving. I'm telling y'all that right now. Don't do it to yourself. Good night. Bye.